Hi, Commanders. Let's preface this episode with something straight away. It starts with some behind-the-scenes in-game actions from player factions, moves into tinfoil hat territory, and then goes off the deep end from there. Ready? Good. Since the last time Sirius Inc. did some of our investigations into Aegis Research, we as a community had an interstellar initiative calling for the need to have more meta-alloy. The reasoning was that it was needed for humans to fight the Thargoids. Pilots questioned that logic, as we didn't really have much of use for the stuff. However, the story moved on, and the reasoning was at the very least overlooked, if not forgotten. While that initiative was happening, Galcop had started an operation looking into using decontamination and repair limpets on other creatures of the galaxy to calculate their health, just like what had been done earlier with the Thargoids. The logic behind this operation was twofold. First, if the Thargoids were indeed a bioengineered race, or at least scientific, then they would have looked into the things that they discovered around themselves, and copied and updated them for their own use. We as humans do this all the time, so it seemed practical that other sentient creatures would do it too. Secondly, protecting humanity from aliens doesn't mean just a concentrated focus on Thargoids. Guardians are out there too, and who knows what AI constructs could exist from that alien species. There could be others as well, and it didn't hurt to look. Lastly, during the middle of the Interstellar Initiative, some of the stations in the Pleiades were attacked with no warning from the Eagle Eye network. Keep all of these variables in mind, because now is the time to go ahead and get yourself a nice bowl of popcorn and your favorite tinfoil hat. Ooh, this one has a brim. I like it. Let's delve into some theory. And that theory is this. Aegis Research has manufactured the Thargoid War. I told you it was tinfoil hat territory. Let me explain what the clues are pointing towards. First, remember those Eagle Eye stations mentioned a minute ago? When they were examined, their cargo bays contained all the items needed for material separation, extraction, collection, and growth. Thargoid ships are organic, and they use meta-alloy in large part of their structure. The latest Interstellar Initiative needed to locate more meta-alloy, not because we pilots needed it, but because Aegis Research needed it. They are capable of growing the organic ships, or organic parts of the ships, and putting them together. Either they wanted to build even more Thargoid ships, or they're building something large, and need the material. Another aspect of the human-grown ships is that our limpets work on them. In the studies conducted by Galcop, we know that the only limpets that work on normal biological creatures are research variants. Trying to use other limpets on these creatures completely fails. It won't even let you try. A Thargoid ship, a biological entity, however, can be repaired by a repair or decontamination limpet. The only reason for this is if the limpet itself is capable of making repairs and the ship uses enough human material to be repaired. So theory part 1 is that Aegis Research is at the very least building or growing some of the Thargoid vessels we are fighting today. Continuing, we believe Aegis Research is using humans as the pilots for the Thargoid ships. Here are the observed facts. First, Thargoid vessels have been watched collecting escape pods. These contain humans that can be easily explained as gone missing, and their disappearance in dangerous work is an explainable risk. Since the Thargoid ships are working for Aegis, they're delivering these humans to be used as pilots. The Aegis military base, the Sentinel, is used for human prisoners of war. There are no Thargoid prisoners of war here. It's a wonder why Aegis would have a facility dedicated to being a POW facility. We believe this facility is instead used to prep humans to be pilots for the Thargoid ships. Aegis megaships contain a prison bay to collect new pilots, and a control pod to communicate or otherwise control the Thargoid ships in an area of space that is being attacked. We always thought Aegis wasn't doing anything when a system was under attack. It turns out they were probably very busy attacking the system using controlled prisoners from their megaships. Lastly, The Eagle Eye systems all contain transmitters and human ciphers to know that systems are to be attacked. Why? Thargoids do not speak any human language. There's little need to encode the message. If there was a real threat to a system, it would be all over the news, like Galnet, maybe, to alert pilots to defend a system. This Eagle Eye system is done much too quietly. So Aegis Research is making Thargoid ships and using human prisoners to pilot them. The question you might be asking is, why? To answer that question, we are venturing far out of tinfoil hat territory. For the final part, you're going to want a tinfoil helmet. We believe the short answer to why is technology. From the first Thargoid War and studying them, we have developed great new technologies to more efficiently travel the stars. But why use this method to attack humans with ships we can make? It is a guess, but the Thargoid ships might be bait to draw out a more powerful foe. The Thargoids lost their war against the Guardians. If more Guardian AI can be awoken and drawn out, they can be studied, their technology can be taken. There's a possibility that the Guardians could be reacting to the presence of an old enemy, the Thargoids. Another possibility is if other, stronger Thargoids exist, then their technology must be better than the weaker ones, and they can be studied as well. The gamble for this is that humanity is in the middle of where all this needs to happen. It can also explain the lack of action from the superpowers, who are all guiding Aegis and who have refrained from fighting back. They don't want to interfere with drawing out whoever the Thargoids are bait for. So commanders, that is our theory. We've taken a stand against Aegis Research on many fronts. We don't have a smoking gun. Please understand, we have some trepidation with this as well. But think on it. And in the meantime, fly safe, commanders.